And when the gods were consulted, it was confirmed that it was okay and that other daughters could also be picked in as much as they were from the lineage of the bride for the king.
Welcome to Iyagba's Epic Tales. The title of today's story is
The Three Sisters and Bride for the King. Once upon a time, in the family of a man named Mazi Anozie, were three girls: Aduri, the first and eldest, Anwuli, the second, and Ijeawili, the last. Aduri, Anwuli, and Ijeawili were all daughters of Mazi Anozie, who is a chief and part of the king's council. All three girls were beautiful and were the desire of every young man in the village. However, the young men could not approach them. This is because Aduri, Anwuli, and Ijeawili were all from the lineage of bride for the king. This means that every female child born into the family is a potential bride for the new king. Therefore, no man is allowed to seek for their hand in marriage until the new king has made his pick. And even after the new king has made his pick, the other daughters, if they are more than one, marries only men of wealth and from the family of chiefs. All of these processes are bypassed if there is no new and young king, and the bride for the king would not have to wait for them to be picked, but rather go ahead to marry any young, wealthy, influential young man. Well, there was going to be a new and young king, so Aduri, Anwuli, and Ijeawili have all been groomed as intending bride for the king. Before now, only the first daughters were actually picked as the bride for the king, until a time in the past when the new king then had picked a second daughter, insisting that it was the second daughter that he desired. And when the gods were consulted, it was confirmed that it was okay and that other daughters could also be picked in as much as they were from the lineage of the bride for the king. Aduri and Anwuli prided themselves as queens to be, and as such looked down on everyone who is of lower background. Aduri was even more confident that she would be the next queen because she isn't only the first daughter, but she is also the most beautiful of all her three sisters. Moreover, whenever they visited the palace, the prince was always staring at only her and spoke to her more than he spoke to the other two younger sisters. Anwuli, on the other hand, noticed how much the prince had picked interest in Aduri and had already lost hope of being picked. However, Ijeawili was indifferent. She cared less if the prince would pick her or not. Even if you would not marry the next king, you will be married to an influential man, and so you should not associate yourself with a dirty commoner like Unduka, Anwuli told Ijeawili one day. Unduka was a young man whom their father had employed to work on his farm for some time. Unduka was a diligent and hardworking young man who works tirelessly from dawn to dusk. Ijeawili liked how dedicated Unduka is, and so she was always gifting him food. They became friends. Anwuli is bothered about Ijeawili's friendship with Unduka, and she's scared that it might grow into an intimate relationship if Ijeawili does not detach herself from Unduka, and that is why she had warned her sister. "Why do you even have a liking for the poor and low life?" Aduri asked Ijeawili. And this is because it is not only Nduka that Ijeawele is friends with. Unlike her older sisters, Ijeawele sees nothing wrong in associating with other people of lower status than her. She made friends with both the high and low. Well, the day for when the prince, who will be the king after his father, would officially make his choice known to everyone was drawing close. Adure put extra efforts in making herself beautiful and left no stone unturned. On the said day, the royal household and all members of the royal council, alongside some important dignitaries, were gathered in the palace. The three sisters stepped forward as demanded, and then the prince held Ijeawele's hand and raised it up, indicating that it is Ijeawele he has chosen. The other two sisters were confused, as it had seemed that Ijeawele had the least chance to be chosen by the prince. Moreover, he had not shown any sign that he was interested in her all the while they visited the palace. Ijeawele was also confused because she had thought the same. While still in their confused state and in their thoughts, Nduka walked into the palace. However, he wasn't looking like the dirty and wretched Nduka they had all known. He was looking all cleaned up, neat and smart. It was revealed that Nduka was the prince's friend from another village. The prince is one who values good virtues and wants someone who is kind, compassionate and generous as his wife, partner and queen. And that was why he had begged his best and trusted friend Nduka to help him get close to the three sisters as a way to put them to test. He wanted to know how they would treat their subjects if the person was not royalty or one with affluence. And so, though he had liked Adure the eldest, but he was not comfortable making her his wife because she cared less about people of lower status. He had explained everything to his father, the king, who supported his actions. And so, that was why the prince eventually picked Ijeawele after observing from afar how Ijeawele treated everyone irrespective of their social status. Ijeawele became the prince's bride and queen later on. And from that day, the custom of choosing a queen from one family was dissolved, as it was declared that from that time on, anyone with only good virtues, irrespective of what family or background they come from, can become queen.
The end.
Three notable moral lessons from this story is that, number one, true worth is found in kindness and compassion and not just social status or external beauty. Secondly, the story shows that judging others based on their background can lead to missed opportunities for genuine connections. And lastly, we should learn to value good virtues over societal expectations, promoting fairness and inclusivity. I hope you enjoyed this story. Did you learn anything from this story? I would like to know. Please share in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Bye.